Hey everybody, it's TJ. Thanks for joining me. Welcome back to another edition of Custom Conquest Showcase. Summertime is here again, and that means sunny skies, sandy beaches, and of course, bikini-clad Fire Emblem characters. In today's episode, we're gonna shine the spotlight on one of my favorite Fire Emblem fighters as she trades her full battle-ready body armor for some summertime swimwear. We're looking at Novice Vacationer Corrin from Fire Emblem Heroes. Fire Emblem as a series has really come a long way from the two obscure sword fighters that first appeared in Super Smash Bros. Melee to Fire Emblem Three Houses selling millions of copies on Nintendo Switch. Corrin first made her way onto my radar as a late addition to the Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS roster, but she, or he, depending on player preference, hails from the 14th installment in the Fire Emblem series called Fire Emblem Fates, which was released in 3 versions: Birthright, Conquest, and Revelations. Now, I have a healthy respect for the Fire Emblem characters as they appear in Super Smash Bros., but I have neither the patience nor the aptitude to endure a tactical RPG, so I've not attempted to play so much as a single mainline Fire Emblem title. The series just isn't for me, but be that as it may, I have to admit, Fire Emblem Heroes for mobile proved to be much more my speed. The game still requires some strategy and incorporates a leveling up system, but on a much more bite-sized scale. I found this to be a nice supplemental way to experience the Fire Emblem fighters I grew fond of in Smash in a game more closely tied to their series of origin. When it comes to trying to summon the characters you want, Fire Emblem Heroes is heinously microtransactional. But if you're patient and you invest a little time playing, I found it to be quite generous with free summons. In fact, after pulling 3 3-star bursts in a row, I resolved never to spend a single cent, and I didn't. Still, I thought it would be a fun goal to unlock each of the fighters from Super Smash Bros. To use in Fire Emblem Heroes, since they were the only ones I had any connection to. And that brings us to our Novice Vacationer Corrin. Instead of the armored attire I was accustomed to from Smash Bros., and by extension the associated amiibo, when I summoned Corrin in Fire Emblem Heroes, she was not only battle ready, but beach ready as well. In the heat of the amiibo craze, I was working on a show called Smash Supremacy featuring Hero TJ and Dark TJ, and a reoccurring subplot developed between Dark TJ, Corrin, and the goddess of nature from Kid Icarus, Viridi. To quickly summarize, Dark TJ fancies himself quite the ladies' man, though he's too self-absorbed to really think about anybody other than himself. Viridi, for some reason, finds herself smitten by his shadowy charms and becomes jealous of Princess Corrin for lavishing attention on him. This amounted to, I believe, 3 or 4 contrived interactions over the course of the series, and even extended into the 3rd installment of my Smash Chess trilogy. At some point, I decided this depiction of our Dragonfang darling deserved its own amiibo. On to the process. I knew I needed a Corrin Player 2 amiibo for the head and NFC tag, but to carve down her battle armor into a bikini seemed like far more trouble than it was worth. So the next step was to find a base body that would be a better match. My first train of thought led me to consider Tinkerbell. There were dozens upon dozens of figures in the 2.5-inch scale, but ultimately I found a better match in the form of Tinkerbell's fairy friend, Rosetta, from the animated Pixie Hollow movies. There were a number of options between collectible figures and cake toppers, but the Rosetta I settled on appropriately matched not only the scale, but was molded into a pose very similar to the Fire Emblem Heroes Corrin key art. I started by removing her wings, her head, and her feet at around the ankle point. I also used an X-acto Knife to precisely amputate the left arm so I could rotate it and reattach it at an angle that more closely matched my key art reference. Generally, I was really pleased with the starting point of the Rosetta figure, but I still needed to reconcile some discrepancies. Rosetta wears a necklace halter top, while Corrin wears a tie front halter bikini top, so filing the figure down took a fair bit of time. I used a heavy-grade sandpaper to chew away the necklace and flatten out the collar. Then I used a fine grain to create a smooth surface and embellished the bust line with some modeling compound. I sanded down the transition between the fairy skirt and shirt and trimmed off the bottom fringe, which I then raised up and repurposed as the bottom of Corrin's 2-piece. Novice Vacationer Corrin is barefoot, which is none too surprising considering she can't even be bothered to wear shoes and battle armor. I did briefly consider attempting to replace Rosetta's tiny pixie slippers with the bare feet from the actual Corrin amiibo, but it would have really taken a lot of finessing to facilitate the transition since they didn't really line up very well. So instead, I snipped off the feet of a Burger King Aladdin figure I had laying around since 1992, tacked them to the end of the fairy's legs with some super glue, and smoothed the transition with some sandpaper. With Corrin's beach body complete, I hit it with some primer, then coated it in a flesh tone. I painted the bikini bit white, and also attempted to add some sun-streaked highlights in her hair. Now for the finer details. To get a really sharp edge for the trim of her swimsuit, I employed thin strips of black electrical tape. I also used black electrical tape for the ribbon and bow around her right thigh. I fashioned the bow at her waist from small scraps of plastic. For the flowing ribbons, as well as the halter tie to her bikini top, I used some black twist ties that I formed into shape and attached with some superglue. The front tie of her top are small shapes cut from white electrical tape. For the jewelry on her left ankle and wrist, I went with a simple silver O-ring that I pried open enough to fit over the plastic, and then pinched tight with a pair of pliers. Then I dusted them with a little gold paint. I nicked the flower in Corrin's hair from the base of a Rapunzel figure and trimmed a couple leaves from an imitation plant. Novice Vacationer Corrin trades her sword for a book, seemingly about marine biology. This would have been pretty easy to fashion out of some cardboard or thin layers of plastic, but I took a bit of a shortcut and borrowed the book from fellow Fire Emblem amiibo friend, Robin. I glued it shut, painted it blue, and added some additional red and black trim with strips of electrical tape. You may notice the Novice Vacationer Corrin key art wears a lei flower necklace. I did construct one out of small plastic flowers, but it just looked too messy. So after struggling with it for a while and considering alternate options, I realized I didn't even like the flower necklace anyway. And the beautiful thing about a custom project is that you can customize it to suit your own tastes. So I opted to omit the lei. And finally, this custom Fire Emblem amiibo needed a base, and I thought, what could be better than the Fire Emblem series? So I popped a Tiki amiibo off her stone stand, reconstructed the holes with some modeling compound, and attached custom Corrin by twisting a screw up from the bottom layer of the platform into her left foot. And of course, I swapped out the NFC tags. And with that, our custom Novice Vacationer Corrin amiibo is complete. And that's a wrap on another edition of Custom Conquest Showcase. Thanks again for stopping by. Be sure to make the most of these summer months. Spend a little time outside, soak in some sun, collect a little vitamin D. Make sure to stay hydrated out there. Oh, and don't forget the sunscreen. Hope to see you again real soon. This is Hero TJ signing out. Thanks for playing.
Mischief are you two getting into now?
Hey, it's Miss Veridi.
Hey, look out, DT, man. Your stage 5 clingers here.
You little nothing! How dare you!
What are you doing here, Sprout?
Oh, are you feeling lonely? Because I can keep you company.
No, I'm angry and hungry. He's hangry.
Ugh, pull yourself together. If you're hungry, I've got you covered. You're being sandwiched!
What, no hot mustard?
Picky. Maybe this'll suit His Majesty a little better.
Okay, you can stay, but only for a little bit, and don't let me catch you drooling over my hot bod again, neither.
Look at you acting all assertive. You're just grabbing life by the horns and shaking it until it moves.
At least your ability to divine the obvious isn't clouded by your obsessive jealousy.
Oh, I'm so pleased that it meets your approval.
You really don't need to be jealous of Bayonetta, Miss Veridi.
Please. I'm a goddess. She just has better hair, that's all.
Even though Bayonetta's constantly trying to catch DT with her hair snare, he keeps giving her the cold shoulder.
Excellent job.
DT likes you way more than Bayonetta.
Of course he does.
Quit talking about me like I'm not here. Now Corrin, on the other hand, is a totally different story.
Ugh! Don't go around spreading rumors. I don't believe this.
Oops, you dunderhead. Now we're never gonna get through this episode.
Do you soak in every random puddle that crosses your path?
Nah, just the hot ones that wanna pet me.
Gross.
Don't get your vines in a twist, garden girl. I booked an appointment with the Whirlpool Princess for some dragon-style deep tissue on my dark side hide.
I love to go swimming, don't you?
Mind your own business.
Oh, she does all right. This little squirt once wanted me to go to the beach with her so bad she literally reconfigured the landscape around me.
That was awesome.
So, about this swimsuit, I hope it looks okay.
Someone's overcompensating.
Unless those ribbons are rip-proof, you might want to hold off on any dragon transformations. Is that a Teen Heartthrob magazine featuring DT on the cover?
Where I'm from, they're everywhere.
Right.
I'm kind of a big deal.
It seems we have a little mutual admiration society here. You're not the only fan.
Sounds like somebody's going green with envy.
I'm not going green. I've always been green.
Just because Princess Corrin has been making frequent personal visits to DT and Fire Emblem Heroes is really no reason to feel threatened.
I couldn't be more fortunate.
Hello, anything Princess can do, I can do better.
All this obnoxious jibber-jab is giving me a tension headache. Corrin, put me down for another 30 minutes. And wear that bikini.
Great.
That's it! You are now officially at the top of my to-kill list!
Whoa, no killing, please. Corrin is more than just a crimson-eyed kitten. She's also a devastating dragon with claws to match.
So claws are your weapon of choice, are they? They're nothing compared to my fingernails. Now those would rip you up. My nails can displace entire rivers and level mountain ranges.
Fun. We'll get along very well.
Calling you a snake would be an insult to snakes.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Listening to you two fawn over my awesomeness is exhausting.
You can lean on me if you're weary.
Ugh, you are so annoying.
I'm enjoying this. Are you?
Tone down the sass.
Moving on. Corrin, wait for me in my trailer, and when this episode is finally over, we can do whatever you want.
Swimming, delicious food. Do you like all of that too?
You're so boring. Just shut your yapper and get ready to fight. Buck, buck, buck. What are you, chicken?
I'll tan your hide.
Oh, that's brave of you. But the forces of nature, we're not what you're used to.
Ladies, let's just hug it out.
Okay.
This is not a hug it out moment.
I think you two just got off on the wrong foot. Look how much you have in common. You both have a strong appreciation for nature, and neither of you can resist my perfect combination of physical appeal and unattainability.
He's absolutely right.
You and I are like two peas in a pod.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Destroy the intruder!
I admire the course you've taken here to fight.
Wish I could say the same for you, but you're such a fragile little thing.
To the beach.
Oh, goody.
You ready for this?
Things are about to get hectic.
Let's do this!
Time to let nature take its course.
Sink or swim. Tropical attack.
Ugh, that was kind of rude. 3, 2, 1, strike! It's game over. Who's awesome now?
Wow, I guess now that the undercard match is over, we can finally get to the main event.
All right, it's finally time for Amiibo.
Let's settle it in Smash.